Hi, I'm Gene Shuey with the American Gunsmithing Institute. Usually when you pick up a rifle, the first thing that you will notice is the overall condition. Secondly, your eye will go to how well the firearm is finished and how well the parts fit. This will give you a good indication as how that the firearm is built and the craftsmanship that went into it. Ever since firearms were first made, the manufacturer or the maker in those days and the owner of the firearm tried to protect the firearm from the elements, such as rusting and corrosion and so forth. So they tried several methods of doing it, covering them with oil and bear grease and what have you, which has not proved too satisfactory. Depending upon the metal, some were made from iron and others were made from steel. And when those were made from iron, the process first used was called browning, and that was done with some botanical products such as, now we'll check it also for rust, pits, dents. Let's see, okay, here we go. Looks like somebody has taken some vibropeening and put some kind of a figure here. Also, there looks like a driver's license number. We can remove this one, but the driver's license number is so close to the serial number, about the only thing that we can do at this point will be to just minimize that. Let's check for rust. Okay, this side has a certain amount of frosting and rust. First thing that we will do with the new wheel, and that's we'll use a wheel prep. What that does is it ensures a good bond between the polishing compound and the wheel itself. It's also efficient too. You will require less polishing. The first grit is a 140. That's a very coarse grit. What it will do is remove a lot of metal, and it will show a very coarse satin finish. 240 is probably one of the more common ones that you will use when you first start your buffing operation. 320, you start bluing the 870. There's a couple of parts here that I want to talk to you about. One of them is the magazine extension, and it's already blued. You'll probably be curious to know what a blued part looks like when we drop it into the blue tank to re-blue it without taking any of it off. Rather than suspend that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into this basket, and I'll show you that in a second. The next one is the action bar. This is a polished surface. This one is a blued surface, but it's worn and it's got rust on it. So we're going to drop it in the tank, and I'm going to show you what a combination of these parts look like with rust, blue, and a polish. Recall we had a couple of test strips that we did earlier. Let me show you those. The top one is one that has been blued. The bottom one has not. This will give your customer and yourself, until you get some experience on which sanding grit will give you what type of finish, both on the blued surface and then also on a bare surface.